So the talk of the town right now is how all combat sports are moving away from the pay-per-view model. And I don't want to say too much of what I already said in my previous video because that would just be repetitive, but in a nutshell, combat sports moving away from the pay-per-view model. They were already doing that. It's only a few people still out there trying to charge you to see a fight. Like that was they were already moving away from that essentially. But with everybody talking about it, I saw one of the Haymanites try to play this game where DAZN, they charge too much for pay-per-view. They're putting on too many pay-per-views, and I'll show you the tweet that I'm talking about because it gave rise to a pretty lengthy conversation that played out on Twitter. I still call it Twitter. Michael, what it do? Boxing Sage, what it do? Luisito, ¿qué lo que, niño? I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So basically, what Blunson Boxing tried to say, in light of UFC moving over to Paramount and effectively moving away from pay-per-view as all the combat sports are right now, Blunson Boxing, a very big PBC fan, tried to say, did we all forget boxing attempted to do this type of move with DAZN? DAZN monthly, $9.99 a month and zero pay-per-views. How long did that last? Now we've got DAZN after the most amount of pay-per-views in a calendar year by a network introducing another paywall for free pay-per-view. And I took issue with this comment because I knew that this guy's a PBC show. If you have such an issue with one platform doing a bunch of pay-per-views, then you wouldn't be such a big fan of the PBC because they did more pay-per-views than anybody. Like, more than anybody in the game, in the industry. Between Fox and Showtime, they were trying to operate on pay-per-view like every month they were coming out with something, right? So the idea that we're going to now criticize DAZN, whose pay-per-views are actually cheaper than the PBCs, by the way, it just seemed like it seemed ridiculous because it's almost like you're trying to say that it's their fault that things are the way they are. No, it's the PBC's fault. And I replied by saying that, well, nobody from 2018 when they ink the Showtime extension and land the Fox deal, from 2018 to where we are now, no one in the industry, literally no one, not Matchroom, not Queensbury, not Golden Boy, not Top Rank, not Boxer, not nobody did more pay-per-views than the PBC. So if you're saying that inundating the market with pay-per-views exacerbated things, you have them to blame because nobody did that more than them. And it led to this a lengthy conversation that you can go to my Twitter page and you can see it, you can read it. And I just think it's absolutely diabolical that there are still people trying to play this game like the PBC is not an abject failure that is directly responsible for boxing's decline in America. They are directly responsible. Where Bob said we're going to keep as much stuff off pay-per-view as possible, they were trying to do as many pay-per-views as possible. It's insanity that, like, it's 2025. You still don't want to admit they fucked up? And even DAZN, Turkey said they're moving away from pay-per-view as of November. I mean, the show that they're doing before November, in September, the Crawford versus Canelo fight, and that 3 days of boxing, that is not a pay-per-view. None of it is it's not a pay-per-view. Where normally you have to pay per view to see a Canelo, to see a Crawford, you don't have to do that. But you're still trying to, like, criticize everybody. And it's amazing. It's an inferiority complex. Like, I can't fully say what it is because if I do, I'm going to ruffle feathers, You just don't want Heyman to be a failure. And we all know why, but he is. He's an abject failure. They just don't want to face the truth and fact that they supported and gassed the PBC up. It'll break everything they believe in. Absolutely. But if a guy's issue, if a guy says that, oh, you have an issue with DAZN for doing a lot of pay-per-views, PBC literally did more pay-per-views than they did over a longer duration of time, and they were more expensive. So, like, something has to be wrong with you, essentially. That you think you sound logical. You think you make sense. PBC was the same company that put Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. And don't forget about Ruiz versus Areola. So, the current climate in combat sports speaks to something that you guys that have been with me here on this channel, I've been saying it for years, literally years. And I think I'm the only channel that was saying it for years from the very beginning. This pay-per-view stuff is not conducive towards anything. It was never intended for every fighter. It was never intended for the majority of fighters. It really is set aside for the biggest of the big fights or the biggest of the big names. But that aside, fights like Benavidez versus Plant, no. Fights like Benavidez versus Andre, no. Ruiz versus Areola, hell no. Ruiz versus Ortiz, hell no. That kind of schlock was never intended to be on pay-per-view. The sad part is, if you would have did those same fights, like Wilder versus Ortiz 2, for example, that no one was asking for that. And it didn't do big numbers. It only did 200 and change, like most of that crap. If you would have did that on the regular network, I guarantee you it would have brought in over 1 million viewers on a Saturday night. And those were the kind of metrics that Showtime needed to stay in boxing. Over 1 million viewers on a Saturday night on a regular basis, because this is a premium cable network that hosts over 33 million subscribers. So if you can't even hit 1 mil with a regular fight on the regular schedule, you guys are doing something wrong. And they had the materials, they had the ingredients to do those numbers, but they consistently hid everything behind a paywall. Gervonta Davis has made approximately 7 or 8 pay-per-view appearances, and only one of those fights warranted a pay-per-view, the Ryan Garcia fight. If his fights would have been on a regular schedule, be it a Barrios fight or a Santa Cruz fight, a Martin fight, a Rowley fight, yeah, I promise you, he would have brought in over 1 million viewers to Showtime. But on pay-per-view, for a fight that nobody's asking for, you saw what he brought in. Next to nothing. Shout out to Chico. You hear TKO cool COO Shapiro? He was talking I know. I'm scared, Drew. Help me. Talking points. Network streaming wants structure to sell. Yo, my dude. Look, I don't know if Mark Shapiro listens to the relay. I don't know that. I don't know. But what I will say is I understand this better than most. And I know that people don't like to hear that coming from me, but it's the truth. I understand this better than most content creators. The things that have become normalized conversations within the boxing space among several content creators now were all things that I introduced you to. Ratings, metrics, long-term viewership, sustained viewership, subscriber counts. These are all things. Drew knows this because me and Drew been chopping it up for years now. And Drew knows there were no other content creators delivering you that intel more than me. I told you that this stuff matters. You guys in the middle of the deal, not you guys, I mean, but a lot of people in the middle of the Showtime deal or in the middle of the Fox deal, they think it's all cookie crunchy, like it's always going to be this way, that Fox is always going to give you a budget. No, it's got an expiration date. Showtime's deal had an expiration date. And I was watching that closely from the very beginning, that you can't keep doing this. It's not sustainable, and when it's time to renew, they won't. So now all of a sudden it's normal to talk about viewing figures and metrics and what's better for the platform, what's better for the sport, what makes for a more sustainable business model. Oh, now everybody's talking about that shit now after the fact, when it doesn't really matter, because I told you This is coming. Now, fear not, real boxing fans. Real boxing fans, don't worry, don't be afraid, because things are going to get better. And I've been telling you that too. This reset is it's gonna filter out the bullshit that if you need an arm and a leg to fight, it's gonna have to be against somebody who can beat you, at which point you may be phased out. I'm hearing rumors that Keith Thurman may be facing Sebastian Fundora in late October on a pay-per-view. And you know that's the kind of fight that Keith Thurman needs to be in. That Keith, if you want big money or whatever it is, right, then you need to fight somebody good. And Sebastian, he fits that bill. Now, should that be a pay-per-view? No, neither of you have the kind of fanfare to be fighting behind a paywall. Neither of you. But it still speaks to the process of elimination that, Keith, if you insist on being out here and you want to get paid any kind of money, you got to fight somebody. Somebody who's alive, somebody who could beat you. Sink or swim, baby, that's right. Mr. T said it's finally starting to set in for the Haymanites. Yeah. A lot of the things that you now see content creators from all different places, those videos I did are still up from 2018 till now. That I've been tracking the viewership, and I noticed it early on that for you to draw 500,000, 2018, mind you, 500,000 on a Saturday night on a premium cable network, that's not really good. When you do a pay-per-view and it only does in the neighborhood of 200,000 on a network that hosts 33 million subscribers, that's not good. You know why it's not good? You're alienating the regular viewers. You're alienating them. You're telling them they have to pay to see this. So they're not getting their money's worth for their subscription if they have to pay more. You're telling them this. And they end up not buying the pay-per-view. That's what happens. They don't buy the pay-per-view. The network doesn't get the metrics for the money that they're kicking out for your fighters and your content. They're not getting an ROI on that. You do 200,000. Gervonta Davis makes 7 pay-per-view appearances, and only one of them yielded real numbers. The rest of them did nothing. People in the media are talking about 200, 225. Oh, that's the new normal. No, it's not. Because if it were normal, that would have been okay, and they would still be on Showtime. That was never the new normal. That was never the new baseline. That was what the PBC was doing because they were greedy. You're sacrificing hundreds of thousands of viewers that could be watching a card so that you could sell a paltry 200,000 buys. And you think you're doing good. They're going to go undefeated. They're going to go. But, you know, if you go to that conversation that I had on Twitter, it's like these guys don't know how to lie. These guys don't know how to debate without being disingenuous. Oh, last year, DAZN did more than PBC. Yeah, and from 2018 till now, who did more pay-per-views? Never mind DAZN's pay-per-views last year, by the way, because they were still cheaper than the PBCs. They were still cheaper. It's fucking incredible, bro.
Nope.
I can't believe that people even still have the energy to defend Al Heyman. Like, that's, to me, that's mind-boggling. Like, really?
What'd you do when you heard Mark Shapiro really relay talking points?
I mean, honestly, Drew, I honestly didn't know does he watch this show, or am I just smarter than I give myself credit for? Because I know what these guys are thinking. No executive at a broadcast network that hosts millions of subscribers, nobody's going to be impressed with 200,000 bots. Like, no, for that, we might as well have did a regular show. We could have drew 1 million to the platform or better. And that's the goal for the network, that these boxing fans don't seem to understand, and I'm going to say it for the umpteenth time. Pay-per-views are for the boxing people, not the network. That's for the boxing people to try to make a little bit more money. What the network benefits from is the regular schedule If you do regular content that regularly draws us to a platform, that's what they benefit from. Because if you're getting, hypothetically, 1 million, 2 million viewers at a given time slot, right? That ad block becomes very valuable after that. Then you're going to have companies that want to advertise their products during that time slot because they know 2 million, 3 million, whatever people are viewing. So it becomes valuable for them. It becomes valuable for you. The network says, hey, look at these fucking guys. Fucking Saturday night, they got 1.5 million people watching our channel. 2 million. Let's give them more money. We need more of this content because look at how many people it's drawing to our platform. But you can go to those viewing figures from 2021, 2022, even 2023. Regular schedule of fights. They're fawning that Ryan and Tank did 1 million. It didn't save Showtime, though. You don't understand? Pay-per-views are not for the broadcaster. They're for the boxing people. The broadcaster wants a regular schedule that brings us to their platform regularly. That's what they want. So you doing 200,000 here. If you doing 200,000 on pay-per-view, bro, you may as well not have did the pay-per-view.
Right. And haven't you been saying though, like, take the operational cost from a pay-per-view, give it to a regular schedule to hungry fighters instead of divas? You're gonna get a better. You're gonna get a better product.
Yeah.
But listen, Canelo didn't save the pay-per-views either for Showtime. Honestly,
Say that again,
right?
bro.
Canelo being on Showtime pay-per-view didn't save PBC either.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that he did. I would say that by the time by the time Canelo got over there, which I want to say was what, circa, what was that?
2021.
About
Yeah.
2020.
Munguia, Berlanga, right?
By then, most people don't realize que ellos estaban en olla already. See, in 2019, Fox is already unhappy. In 2019, right? And Fox is already unhappy. In 2020, Showtime is already unhappy. This is all before Canelo gets over there. The problem has already started that you're doing these pay-per-views. I said it from the very beginning and nobody was listening, that if you have Spence on a network as big as Fox, right? And you do a Sean Porter fight on pay-per-view. The Mikey Garcia fight, I consider that one negligible. Like, okay, you did that one. It did 3 and change. It didn't do half bad. 360,000 buys is okay. But the Sean Porter fight is a perfect example that if you would have did that fight on Fox, which is a huge network, it's a terrestrial network, I promise you would have got like 4 million viewers that night. I promise you. You would have got crazy viewership if that were a regular fight. And that's what Fox wants because Fox knows how many households they're available in. They know. And when you're on a network that big and you're doing like premium cable numbers, oh, we sold 278,000 pay-per-views. The pay-per-view is tracking at close to 300. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. Like, what the fuck is this? We paid this guy this money and this is what we getting? See, when you're dealing with a terrestrial network, especially one, like an NBC or a Fox, they have even more reach than a Showtime, way more reach. They have more reach than an ESPN because they're available in practically every household in the country. Anybody can watch Fox. So that was a huge deal, and they completely mishandled it. That you sent Spence over there from Showtime. I don't know if everybody remembers, but they split their stable in two. They had the A-listers go to Fox because it was the bigger network. But all they had them do over there was pay-per-views. And that's not how you utilize a relationship with Fox. It's not, bro. They have a big megaphone. So just imagine 4 million, 5 million households in the country watching Errol Spence. That is how you utilize that platform. Instead, you went for the short money, the crack money that, let's put it on pay-per-view. Spence is hot right now. I'm sorry to tell you, you don't sacrifice 4 million viewers, 4 million households in America for 300 and change. Or 200 and change. Who the fuck is that? On pay-per-view. It's stupid. Oh, here we fucking go.
No mames.
Whose mic is that?
Over to the Canelo thing, right? By the time Canelo gets over there, and that was after 2021, I want to say 2021, around there, it's too late.
Yeah, too little, too late. Like, he can't bring it back. Can't fix it.
It's too late. The only way that Canelo could have saved them, like the only way it really would have made a difference, is if you locked Canelo in to a multi-year deal. Because then you could go to the higher ups above Stephen and say, look, we have Canelo and he's going to be with us through 2022, 23, 24. Now, obviously, Canelo has his autonomy. Nobody really controls him. But that's the only way that would have made a difference. That we have Canelo locked in. We've got him for 8 fights, whatever, 10 fights. We got him. The fact that y'all didn't do that, and y'all weren't going to be able to do that, even Canelo couldn't save y'all. Even Canelo. You would have needed a situation that is sweet as fucking plums, bro. That's why I said that they've been fucked themselves. It's just that most of the PBC fans didn't know it. That, yeah, they're fucked. And I've said it for you. They're fucked. They're fucked. They think
what trips me out is...
Go
ahead. I was about to say, what trips me out is, like I said, we all know the reasoning. We won't say it on here, man. It's, but it's just fucking laughable that there's these people out there just like us sitting behind their computer or their phone, and they see this stuff, and the metrics are there, the numbers are there, the writing's on the wall, the truth is right there, and they want to die on their shield for a promotional company who doesn't give a fuck about them, bro. Like, why?
Because they're making it about because they're making it about something that it's not. At the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to.
That's what I mean. It's laughable. It's fucking dumb. It's retarded.
And the other thing is, it's a pride thing too. A lot of these guys, they don't want to. Like, I'm not being funny neither. You just don't want to accept that I'm smarter than you are. I saw this coming a mile away. I'm not talking about yesterday. I've been saying this since 2018. This cannot go on. It cannot. What you're spending to get these guys in the ring, $1 million at a time, 1.5 million for Danny Garcia. People look at the money that the zone. People look at the money that the zone. Here we go with this motherfucker. Who is this?
Who the fuck is that?
I'm muted.
People look at the money that the zone spent when they debuted in America, not realizing they were trying to keep up with PBC. The reason that everything went up, 2 words, Waddle and Reed. That's why everything went up. They got all that money from Waddle and Reed. They started overpaying all these fighters. Nobody wants to do nothing anymore. And if you want to get them to do something, oh no, it was got to be a pay-per-view. That's what set everything in motion. Is that investment? All that money they fucked off from Waddle and Reed. So by the time DAZN comes into America in 2018, they got to try to keep up with the Joneses. You got to get fucking Mikey Garcia $7 million to get him to fucking fight Jesse Vargas. Otherwise, he won't fight. You got to give fucking Jose Ramirez $4 million to cross the street. Everything is fucked up. But it's one of those things. It's one of those things to where, and I'm going to be real, if you don't have life experience and you don't know how to balance, if you're not the head of your household, you don't balance a budget, you're not going to understand none of this. That they were fucked for a while before Showtime actually gave them the boot. They were fucked for a while. Shit was fucked. Whereas what's going to happen now, and this is good news, I don't know if the PBC will survive, so I won't make presuppositions about that, but I know that a lot of fighters will not make the decision to go over there in the future. Like, young prospects that are coming out of the Olympics and standout amateurs, they're not going to go over there. They're not. They might end up going to MVP like that Jamal Harvey kid just did, or Matchroom. But because the next wave of American boxers are not going to go over there, that's not going to be an option, right? They're going to go where they need to go, and things are going to start to normalize. It could take 3 to 4 years, though. But things are going to start to normalize because all the damaging practices that they have, it can't go on. It's not sustainable, period. It's not sustainable. Nobody could do business like that. And the irony of it is they think that them bozos was the business guys. Like, nah, dog. If those guys are selling tray bags, nicks and dimes, that's what they were. That was their lane. That's what they was at. See what I mean? Where other motherfuckers are selling weight, y'all street level, and y'all don't even know what y'all doing.
Yeah, man. It's like I've been saying, before, man, like many times, it's like you really cannot put the cart before the horse. Like, how are you gonna build a pay-per-view star if you don't build a solid network profile that fans can gravitate to on terrestrial television? And that way you can put them on pay-per-view. But they didn't do that shit.
Because their philosophy was to treat boxing, and Leo said it better than I did. He said it the other night that with them, boxing has to be a come up. It has to be a scam. It has to be a bank heist because you don't know how to sustain the business.
Greed.
Yeah, it has to be some kind of a swindle, some kind of a this, where no, it can be a business, but to be a business, you got to work a certain way, and you don't want to do that because you want Danny to be a star, but Thurman to be a star, but Errol to be a star, but Sean to be a star. You won't outsource them. You don't want to let them cross the street. In some instances, you don't make them fight each other. There's no real reason we shouldn't have got Thurman versus Spence. That was a huge fight. Before it was about Crawford and Spence, it was about Thurman and Spence. Y'all didn't do that.
I mean, you saw that from the very beginning. Like, remember the first PBC card? Like, you had the A fighters fight against the B tier.
Yeah.
You know how fun that would have been if you had Thurman against Broner, the shit talking,
or Broner versus Garcia, because they hinted at that fight, but they never actually did it. And you know that in circa 2014, 2015, that would have been a big fight. Broner versus Garcia, that would have been a big fight.
Instead, you got Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz.
Man, shit is ridiculous, bro. So the fact that I had a guy trying to argue this shit to me, and he was trying to it's almost like he was trying to do a role reversal, as if to say that, oh, DAZN is doing these things that y'all claim PBC are doing. No, they're not.
DAZN is fucking thriving, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That
they're thriving.
If you were right about any fucking thing you thought, DAZN would be the one in the crapper right now, but they're not. They've grown. They've grown. They got
I know
bigger.
what you're talking about. The guy you was arguing with, that dude argues like a fucking Scientologist.
Bro, you know how many people around the world watch DAZN every day for just soccer alone? Let alone the other shit they got. Like, shit.
And you can go to the videos I did in 2018. I said it on repeat. They're going to be just fine because you guys, you don't know who Len Blavatnik is. That's fucking awesome, bro. Just look the guy up, okay? He's got money to burn, and he's got friends, which is the real thing. That billionaires network with other billionaires. You know, you understand? He's got buddies. They'll help him out. Why do you think he's in so good with Turkey, dog? Billionaires fuck with other billionaires, man.
Jules, Demetrius Andrade was able to go to DAZN and steal all their money, and they're thriving. He goes to PBC, steals all their money, they're in the shitter.
And we haven't seen him since. Haven't seen him since.
And you know what's funny about Turkey, though? It's like, for all the people complaining about, oh my God, we're seeing this. Look at the number of pay-per-views DAZN is putting on. Yeah, but look at where they're valued at. Like, Turkey may be considered a loss leader, but he's not worried about money. Whereas the PBC, you're selling it at $80 a pop. That's a fire sale.
Basically, you not only, I mean, like, it's a disingenuous argument because, for starters, look at the caliber of a Turkey El Sheikh fight, the names that are on the card, and look at the caliber of a PBC show. Ruiz versus Areola. Thurman versus Barrios. Right?
And
Martin versus Ortiz.
Hey,
on January 1st at that, on New Year's
National
Day.
Hangover Day.
Exactly.
Wow.
Bro, Turkey could take it. We covered this. Turkey can take a L for every pay-per-view he puts on, compensate the network, and he don't even notice the money's gone.
Right,
so it's different.
I said this shit that you got guys like Anthony Hopkins. Right now, they got Dave Chappelle over there. They got a whole bunch of A-list comedians over there. And you think that Turkey's worried about some fucking boxing money? You just don't know. You don't know who you're dealing with. Like, and that's what I see. Like, yeah, y'all cats just don't know who y'all dealing with. Y'all think y'all dealing with like small timers from like your way or some shit like that. It's a whole world outside your fucking bum ass neighborhood that you need to get acquainted with. Because I don't know, y'all think y'all big time. How many times you seen Leonard talking out the side of his fucking face about DAZN? But where is he now? Where is he?
Unemployment line.
Where's big time Stefan Espinoza? Where is he? On fucking Indeed uploading a resume, motherfucker.
He's getting cucked still.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Jules.
Good.
What do you think about the undercard that was for Canelo and Crawford?
I mean, I like the Vargas fight just because I like Vargas. I love the Mobili. I love the Martin. Like Martinez is.
Martinez is a fucking dark horse. He might pull out the upset.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's actually a really good fucking fight. And the main thing is this, fellas, that I like it as it is, right? But the real kicker is nothing extra. We all got Netflix. We don't gotta pay nothing extra. Like, bro, that's love. Like, we get 3 days of boxing from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, right?
And think of this, like, we knew what the card really wanted to be. It just, they got cock blocked. Turkey wanted Bam and Junto on there, and we were supposed to get the battle of the big babies, but one from Toledo is being a pussy.
Yeah, but even with that, like, I don't look at that card and say I don't want to see these fights. Three out of the 4 fights that they announced on that show, I do want to see them. I do want to see Vargas versus Liam Walsh. I do. Callum Walsh. My fault. I do want to see that fight. I do want to see Martinez versus Mobili. That is a good fight. And obviously, I want to see Canelo versus Crawford. Obviously. So to poo poo on it for what, dog? And the.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you could give me a trash undercard, or we could all agree it's trash. It's Canelo Crawford. I'm fucking buying it. Everyone's buying it. What are we talking about?
No, and the shit is we don't even have to buy it, Alex. That's the beauty of it.
That's what I'm saying. If it were pay-per-view, I'm still buying. I don't care.
Because you got August, right? And August don't really got a motherfucking thing going on, right? Except for this weekend's card. It's not a lot going on in August. And you got a guy, he's giving you 3 days of boxing back to back like a fucking festival. You don't gotta pay nothing extra. It's on your Netflix. Now, if your ass can't afford Netflix, bro, okay, get off the fucking internet and get a fucking job. Cause I'm saying everybody got Netflix, bro. It come with the fucking TV. You subscribe, you watch Ancient Aliens. I do all the time.
And first thing you see when you buy a new smart TV, Netflix.
Netflix, right? It's built in, bro. Okay, so it's
built in on the remote.
It's all there for you to watch. If you're a boxing fan, especially if you're a boxing fan and you're bored in the month of August, there's nothing going on really. Nothing big, nothing sexy, nothing enticing. Brody, they about to give you 3 days of boxing in September, and it's not even far away. It's like 2.5 weeks. That's 2.5 weeks, y'all.
I'm getting a quarter chub. You gotta chill, bro. You get me too excited.
Oh, really? It's like 3.5. It's like 3.5, 4. But it's right there, and it's like, yo, I just don't understand. If you are a fan of this sport, how could you be complaining? And then in November, bro, Benavidez, Yard, Bam,
that's like two nuts each day. Think about it.
Can I say something, Julius?
No. Because
which other?
Wait, let me read the super chat. Let me read the super chat and then I give it to Leo. Pork Chop said Cruz and Cabrera put me to sleep on Crawford Spence under. Yeah, that shit was trash, bro. Go ahead, Leo.
Now, look, there's people that have a problem with Turkey. Look, if you wanna, I told you before, if you wanna go with the angling of Turkey's it's a royalty in Saudi Arabia. Look, I don't really have a problem with that, but I bet you guys I'm pretty sure you didn't know what's the capital of Saudi Arabia. You think Riyadh is Saudi Arabian dish or something like that. Mm-hmm. You're too ignorant about the subject, so I don't really listen to you guys about that shit. But the problem is this. If you have a problem with what Turkey is doing, but you don't have a problem really with fucking Rolly Romero being the welterweight champion of the world, this is my problem with American content creators shitting on Turkey. If you don't really have a problem with Rolly, because Rolly is a big indicator that there is no possible right now to sell America's boxing as a sport.
Nope.
And that's a problem, because if Rolly Romero, God forbid, if Rolly Romero cracks 150 pay-per-views by himself, that will mean effectively that boxing as a sport is dead in America.
No, let me tell you. If Rolly goes undisputed, I think we all gotta hit it. Like, yeah, we gotta get out of here, bro. I need to watch more football.
You got the Yankees.
Focused on World War III.
Now I have a serious question. You have a high IQ. It's Ring IQ.
Yeah.
Seeing what the networks are doing, and Top Rank and PBC aren't going to get bailed out. What's the landscape look like in 18 months, Jules? Does DAZN tighten the wallet?
No. I mean, like, this is the thing. The PBC situation, I don't even think it's tenable, Drew. I don't think it's tenable. Top Rank is a bit of a wild card because I don't know that I can count out Bob Arum. I don't know that. But let's just hypothetically say that 18 months, Top Rank doesn't have a broadcaster. Doomsday scenario, they don't have a broadcaster. Remember that Top Rank usually has the inside track on all the amateurs. Usually they get the best amateurs, right? Well, if Top Rank isn't back on their feet, those amateurs don't go over there. So what you have to ask yourself is, where do those amateurs go? And they're likely to go to Matchroom, either Matchroom or MVP. Matchroom or MVP. And that will obviously strengthen Matchroom stable, but moreover, they'll have a bigger footprint in America.
Is there a possibility for TKO to get those amateurs if they're paying up high bonuses?
I don't think so. Because the main thing with TKO is you have a cap on what you pay these guys, and because you have a cap, Matchroom will always beat you. They will always beat you. If Top Rank gets back on their feet, they will always beat you to those amateurs because you have a cap on what you pay guys. They can only make so much boxing with you, but they can always make a little extra with Fast Eddie, Fast Car Eddie.
Now, Top Rank we know is getting $90 million a year from ESPN, Jules, and that's the shit they were giving us. What do they give us if they only get a deal with 45 a year?
I mean, you know what Bob's strategy is: 45 over here, 20 over there, right? That's what the three broadcasters
trying to spend money like a Jew.
Right.
Am I lying though?
Yeah, but like
you're supposed to say that with your inside voice, bro. The fuck?
But you said that, Virtuoso, but they got a more stronger, more powerful one at TKO and Ari Emanuel.
I mean, but you can't talk up this TKO thing like I don't want them to fail, Drew. But you got to understand that shit is a fucking experiment, bro.
No, I mean as far as like their packaging of like they got the bullfighting, they got the shit is to go to the networks,
bro. The shit is like you get a broad, she's got the titties and the ass, she's got the tan, the big leg, right? The makeup, all the shit, everything is popping. You get her home and she's a fucking starfish. Fucking starfish, man.
It is telling though, Jules, because they picked WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble over boxing.
The thing is, Drew, TKO's ability to draw in an American audience with their stable is contingent upon who the fuck is in their stable. You see how lazy Americans are. They don't want to learn anything. They don't want to learn any.
They just want to be entertained.
You think they want to study a fucking fight? Where did he come from? How does he know? He knew he was already accomplished before the World Boxing Super Series, and they didn't even bother to hear, until well after that. The Americans don't pay attention to Inouye. Usyk was already fucking accomplished at cruiserweight. They don't give a fuck until it's time to fight Anthony. It's like, yo, dog, that dude already did wild shit before he fought Anthony. So the idea that you're gonna come in with a stable of people that Americans don't know, and there's not much chance of those fighters fighting the fighters that they do know, it's an uphill battle, bro. Marketing and everything is still an uphill battle. It is.
Right. If you notice the World Boxing Series on DAZN, I watched a little bit of it, but it's still,
like if you notice, they signed the UFC because the UFC is the whole farm. You don't have to like at WWE, that bullshit. That's a whole farm. If you're talking about boxing, well, you gotta go Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, Queensberry. It's just a shit show.
Manín, yo lo dije que si hay un mexicanito en Top Rank or un mexicanito en Golden Boy, ¿verdad? He's doing well. People like him. And then un morenito en TKO. He's doing well. People like him. If they just so happen to be in the same weight class, what's the problem? TKO not going to do that fight. He over there fighting for a TKO belt, TKO purse, TKO money. Y el mexicanito, he's out in the world. He's fucking bitches. He's getting chlamydia. It's crazy. So,
whoa.
Yeah, it's just real shit, man. Come on.
All right, just to circle back on what you were saying about TKO having a salary cap, right? Now, if that's the case, then okay. then yeah, it's plausible that they're gonna have to build from the ground up with fighters from the amateurs. Because you only can groom them up to a certain point where they're marketable, and then when you can't afford them because they're asking for too much, then you send them off to another promotional. They let them go.
That's where they go
So
to
I
the
feel
ring
like that's what
cards.
they're gonna
So
start
this
with.
is the thing. If I'm Dana, and I'm Ari Emanuel, right? I really don't think these guys know boxing though, and this is a huge problem. You need a long-term strategy to make your thing work. You need a niche. The only fighters, Americans have egos, we know that. So the guys that you can get to do the job, but can also fight really well, there's really only two of them: Mexicans and Eastern Europeans. Pick one and go with it. And I'm gonna get Americans in here so that these Mexicans can beat the shit out of them, or so that these Uzbeks can beat the shit out of them. I need to create an illusion that this is the home of Mexican boxing, or that this is the home of Eastern European boxing. And I'm really just gonna get Americans to get their ass kicked, right? That's gonna be the angle. I'm looking for the next Chavez, or I'm looking for the next Gennady Golovkin. That would be the angle that I come at it from, because you need guys. Right? We talked about this, Drew. That TKO could be ideal for an Israel Madrimov. It could be ideal for a Sergei Boachuk. It could be ideal for a Bakram Murtazaliev, because you guys don't come out here and make a bunch of money anyway. But this can actually get you more money than you normally get. You'll fight with regularity and stability. So if you become the cornerstone of ugly Russian fighters, you might have something there that we got Drago. Yeah, y'all motherfuckers all good. We got Drago. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you could do that.
So I was told, I had dinner with him he moved out to Vegas. Tom Loeffler will be heavily involved as the boxing guy, like you said. They need a boxing guy.
Yeah, I said he's gonna be the fucking point man.
Tom's very successful and done a great job. You hit on the nail on the head, Jules. When they get to the certain level where two fighters from different places, a TKO guy and a non-TKO guy, want to fight, that's where Turkey has in his agreement, like, look, I can pull TKO fighters.
Yeah,
to come
they
to ring
graduate,
events.
Drew. They graduate. That you did your thing in TKO, you won the fights, you're the TKO champion. Now you graduate to the big leagues. That this could be a feeder system. You could use it that way. That, you know what? Let's get fucking Kathy Duva over here. Let's get Igis Klimas over here. Let's see if we can't get some of these Lomachenkos and these Papachenkos and Kuchachenko and Chikinchenko, and let's try to build something with these guys here, because they don't get that much love in America anyway. Our branding will draw the eyes to the platform, and their skills will make them stay, because those guys always get overlooked. How many people know about Mertz?
They stay career amateurs because they get overlooked. There's more money for them in the Emmys.
So that's a market of fighters, because Mexican fighters, like, bro, they're the backbone of this motherfucker. You got to understand that. So for those lower weights, you got to get some Mexican fighters, and not just Mexican fighters, not just the club fighters and the hard-nosed bastards like Mauricio Lara. Remember, Mexico's got amateurs now, bro. They got amateurs now.
And the highest paydays will be on the ring cards now. And it's what Turkey wants.
What do you think of Nunez versus Nick Ball, man? I think that would be hell of a fight.
I think Nunez would fuck
Nunez by murder.
Yeah.
Bro, Nunez will listen, and I fuck with Nicky, by the way, but Nunez will nick his ball, bro. He will fuck him. Like, bro, you good? You
will
cool
bounce that ball.
You cool down there at 126, but don't go up there. Don't bother Sugar. Sugar will fuck you. I think Sugar's the best in show in that division right now. I don't think none of them guys beat him.
What's
good?
So what's the next? What's the future, I guess, for boxing besides TKO? Because I mean,
yo te lo dije que we're entering. Well, we're leaving, sort of. Even some people are gonna wrestle with this, but understand me. What we're leaving now is, let's call it the Ali era. And what we're entering now is that period where Larry Holmes was the most dominant heavyweight. And that was not a great period for those that remember that. That wasn't really a great period. Mike comes in after that and electrifies everything, right? After that, we're in a transitional period where There may not be a guy for a little bit. There may not be a big guy. There's always going to be some guys, and they're always going to be worth something. But there may not be a guy for a bit. Canelo's not going to be here forever. Usyk's not going to be here forever. Fury's not going to be here forever. And all those guys' days are numbered, right? So we're entering a transitional period. There will still be boxing, and it will be good. Trust me, because they have to fight. They have to now. Everybody's going to be fighting for a spot. The disconnect is who's fighting. If the Americans want to act like a bunch of pussies, hey, go ahead. The Mexicans always want to fight. The Argentines always want to fight. The Russians always want to fight. There's another Olympic Games coming right around the corner. Pay attention to who leaves with a medal. You understand? There will always be fighting. I tried to tell y'all in the other shit, but y'all don't speak alien. Violence is a force of nature. It's not going nowhere. If the Americans don't want to do what they got to do for their spot, someone else will readily fill it. Boxing is not going anywhere.
Jules, what made the Americans soft, bro? Like it bugs me, bro.
Democrats.
Oh shit.
Democrat. You want my honest opinion, bro? The reason I say that, if you keep telling people to act. If you keep telling people that life isn't fair, life isn't fair, life isn't fair, it's not that life isn't unfair. It's that so what? It's unfair for everybody. You don't understand that? Life is not fair. You are only a victim. You stop being a victim as soon as you want to. What do they convince people though? Oh no, you're always a victim. You don't have the same breaks as everybody else. You don't have the same opportunity as anybody else. They kill their fucking spirit.
Exactly.
And they don't want to be winners. They don't want to be the man at the top of the hill. No, hold my dick, right? No, you want somebody to feel sorry for you. You should, as a man, and I'm telling you, if you don't listen to shit I say, you should never want pity. You should want fear before pity. Hate before pity. Right. I don't want nobody feeling fucking sorry for me. What the fuck?
They're the ones that came out with that participation award. Like, no, there has to be losers. If you don't win,
bro.
If you don't win, guess what? You're a fucking loser.
There can't be a winner if there's not a loser.
So the reason I say, now, I'm not trying to get political, but I do notice it. They preach identity politics and a lot of this stuff that, oh, the system is rigged. Yeah, it's rigged for Virtuoso, like it's rigged for me, like it's rigged for y'all. It's rigged. I got it. But guess what? There's still people out here getting money. There's still people out here doing what they want to do and getting fucking blowjobs. I'm going to be one of them, okay? I'm not going to be you. I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for myself. I stop being a victim as soon as I want to. As soon as I want to. They don't want you to stop being a victim. They want you to bring up shit from a gajillion years ago and live in the fucking past. Like you don't got a future in front of you. The way they think, you don't have a future. You are at the mercy of the fucking elements. No, motherfucker. Be an element. Fuck out of here. You can't move. My grandmother came to this motherfucker 19 years old, didn't speak a lick. You can.
Damn, Jules, you turned red, bro.
I just love. Hey, I love. Did y'all see Anthony John? Ring reposted it. Anthony
Yo, don't
Joshua
even talk about it because my next video is about that. I roasted that motherfucker. Pork Chop said TKO.
Oh, you gotta get
TKO can get the whole middleweight division. Oscar Jimenez said, "Y'all think we'll ever get a Canelo versus Gennady type rivalry? Que pena que." Yeah, bro. Listen, those days are coming back, but the first thing that has to happen is the reset. It does have to happen. So esta gente como el Danny Garcia, el Keith Thurman, esta gente que no sirve, they gotta go, and they are gonna go. Like, bro, you think Keith Thurman got another 5 years of boxing?
I think his hairline has another 5 years.
Thurman will be bald by the time that happens.
Keith Thurman.
Did you get in your replay? Did you get AJ's response to it? Because AJ just responded to it.
No, and I seen this shit. Like, I'm gonna do another one just because I hate Andre Ward.
Dude, remember, hold on. Listen, hold on.
Just a fake guy, bro. He's just a fake guy to me.
It's not what's on you. It's what's in you.
Right? Could you imagine a motherfucker walking around with that shit on a t-shirt? It's what's in you. What?
Damn, dude.
You know, but I would would say that if you feel uneasy about boxing's future in the next 5 to 10 years, fear not. It's gonna get better. It is, because what was holding it back is fading away. Y'all hear me talk about the PBC, but I don't know if I put it well enough for you guys that the PBC is a cancer. It is. You got over 200 fighters over there. They're not being used properly. You're getting in the way of fights that need to happen. You're giving boxing a bad name on several different broadcast networks, NBC, Fox. The adverse effect that they had on the American boxing landscape is bigger than I can characterize. But now that their footprint is not as deep, right? Now that their carbon footprint, it ain't what it was, and they don't have the influence they used to have, things are going to get back to the level. Fighters are not going to go over there. These conversations about, oh my God, Thurman's not fighting Crawford. Oh my God, all of that shit is going to go away. All of that. Because they going away little by little. And before you know it, boxing will be back where it should be. When those amateurs and those new fighters and young fighters need a promoter to go to, they won't go to them. They won't. And that's what's going to fix it. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back. So what the fuck? Y'all just going to sit there quiet
I want to
and cry?
say fuck country.
The fuck?
And fuck the world. Oh, okay. Never mind. Don't fuck country.
No, but I mean, it's going to be difficult for the American people because, let's say, for example, this motherfucker on the screen. I have the feeling that the reason we're crashing out, it has little to nothing to do with your mental health. I think it has to do with money.
Well, yeah, I believe that because he was an ambassador for Turkey, and now he thinks he's all the shit. I don't have to make weight. I don't have to fight.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about fighters like it's something that happens with. It started with Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia and him right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ryan Garcia was.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The first one for me was Ryan Garcia. To me, Ryan Garcia was very active early in his career in social media. He was working very, very hard to build his image, to build his brand. And he also has a promotional deal with Golden Boy. The problem is if you make a deal with a promotional company, yeah, they're going to support you and they're going to pay you a salary for, not a salary, but they're going to pay you a purse for your fights. But they're trying also to make money off of you. And the problem with a guy like you that is so in bed with social media that you know your metrics, you know what you bring to the table. So you are never going to be happy with the money you are getting from him because you're always going to think that, yeah, I deserve more money, but that's not the point. The point is, yeah, you made a deal with a guy, so you're going to get what you get. And then you can renegotiate your deal after the deal is done. But no, you want to renegotiate the deal every fucking time. So no promoter is going to work with you in the way that you want. You want to be a free agent from the moment that you want to free a free agent that nobody's going to make money off of you, but everyone has to pay you exactly what you think you are worth. But you don't want to put the money to make the fucking fights.
Tio, you talking about Tio? También?
I'm talking about Ryan, I'm talking about Tio, I'm talking about Shakur, I'm talking about David. It's always the same thing. That everyone has to lose every promoter has to lose his fucking ass on every fighter because, yeah, your metrics are getting good. I understand that. But before your metrics were good, yeah, you were getting your money regardless. When nobody was fucking watching you, the promoter was paying you. So now the promoter is trying to get his investment back but it's not allowed to because these motherfuckers are being difficult every fucking time, and that's gonna be the trend for all these guys because it's embedded in the culture. You cannot.
Well, I feel like that's what Joe was saying. These people, you know, T.O., Tank, Shakur, and all of them, they gotta go, right?
They do.
That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But think about it. This new generation that TKO might bring, or they might not bring, nonetheless, bro, we got fighters that want to fight. Like Jules was saying, it comes from Mexicanos, it comes from any other European nation. They gotta fight. They know what's up. These Americanos, bro, they don't want to fight, bro. They see that money, bro, and just like everybody, you gotta agree. If somebody gives you a raise, or somebody else gets a raise in whatever job you do, you want to be that part. You want to be like, you know, I'm the shit as well. But at the same time, you're not that person, bro. You're not proven. You're not, you know, you're being a sucker. You're being greedy. You're being whatever you want to call it, and that's the problem, in my opinion.
What I am trying to say is, let's say I work for a company, and I get X salary for what I do. Even if I whatever, let's say I'm getting 10 grand a month. Look, even if we are essential to the company, I'm not gonna go there and look at the books every fucking month and talk to my boss and tell him, look, I need more money because the profits of the company are being increasing. That's not how it works. Because nobody's gonna want to work with me. The company is trying to make money off my work. I get what I get, and after maybe next year, maybe after 2 years, we can renegotiate. These guys, they don't want to do that. No. After 2 fights, they want to renegotiate their deal. They want 2-3 more millions per fight every fucking time. It's impossible to work with.
But that's why Turkey, like some people think, I said this in a video I didn't want to repeat it, but I'll say it. Some people think that Turkey overpaying these fighters is exacerbating the situation when it's the opposite. He's cleaning them out faster. Okay, I'll pay you what you want, but you got to fight this guy. Process of elimination. I'll pay you what you want. You want X? I got you, but you got to fight this guy. Now, David Benavidez is about to fight somebody that he would not otherwise fight. And the way things were, he wasn't going to bump into an Anthony Yard. You were never going to draw an Anthony Yard to America with peanuts on the dollar.
No.
You see the path that David is on now. Now you're en route to Artur Beterbiev. You were not before. That was not going to happen on its own. It wasn't. But now it might. Because this guy's got the money you're looking for. He'll give you the money. You got to fight. And you got to win. Because if you lose, well, then no, you can't lose and then come in here and ask for the moon and the stars. You see what I mean?
It's either shut up or show up, right?
Yep. So where some people think that, oh, well, he's overpaying Devin. Listen, if Devin goes in there and gets his fucking clock clean, buy $3 million a fight. If you get knocked the fuck out, it's over for that. The fuck wrong with you?
Perfect example, Edgar Berlanga. Knocked the fuck out, no manager.
Took the fucking words out. You see what happened to him. It was all good. You could go to Top Rank and waste everybody's time and money. You could go to Matchroom and waste everybody's time and money. And if Turkey's not here to put you in that Shiraz fight, that goes on for another 3, 4, 5 years. Turkey comes in, hey, Edgar, I got some money for your ass. Boom. Yo, I got this random Pakistani dude you could fight. Right?
Right? Don't worry. He got a weak chin.
Yo, you seen his last fight, bro. Come on. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And look and now look at him like go ahead, Edgar. Let's see who's gonna give you a bunch of money. He still might go to MVP at the end of the day, but MVP has their own problems now. I don't want to say it here because it's in a video I did, but you took it out the words out my mouth. They're like, yeah, look at Edgar is the shining example of what I'm talking about. Guy like that been floating around the sport of boxing for how long? Undefeated. For how long? Wasting people time, wasting money, fighting bums, right?
Talking shit.
Talking shit.
You know the next one that gotta go. Pitbull. What the fuck are you doing?
Es el otro.
Get the fuck out of here.
It creates an environment where you don't really have the PBC to hide behind anymore, right? Top Rank has their own problems. You really don't have them to hide behind anymore either. Not that Top Rank was in the business of hiding fighters anyway, but we have to admit that, Edgar, he was looking like fucking like some fucking shit over there,
damn.
right? For a little bit.
He's
actually right. Get him on a fucking get him on a turkey show. That motherfucker never got his ass kicked like that. He never thought he was gonna get his ass kicked like that. One show with Turkey. That motherfucker got his clock clean in front of all his homies.
I'm surprised he didn't bite the motherfucker too.
He's actually eyeing a comeback in December.
I know. But the shit is that for Edgar, you're eyeing a comeback in December. Now you have to find someone. Remember that he's a free agent. You don't have a matchroom to do for you what they're doing for Boots.
Nope.
Right? You're a free agent. You wanted to be fucking free, no verdad? You wanted to be free. Well, you don't have that promoter to put you in those tune-up fights that you want to be in, them safe ones. Ain't nobody who's gonna get you another Jonathan Gonzalez, bro? You a free agent. Who gonna get you that? You better go to Jake. You better go to Jake. Jake is the only dude I could think of that might fuck with him just because he's Puerto Rican and Jake fuck with the Puerto Rocks heavy. That's the only dude at this, because you've been at Top Rank. You've been at Matchroom. PBC don't got nothing for your ass. Jake is probably the only dude that you ain't fuck with yet. You better go over there, bro.
And he's a free agent, bro. And he has the perfect fight to make a comeback in Gabe Rosado, and he's not gonna take it. He's a fucking diva.
Ese Leo que Gabe might beat him. Like, motherfuckers think I'm saying that shit on some funny shit. No, Gabe might beat him, bro. Gabe is way more experienced than him, bro. Way more. Gabe been in there with real monster type motherfuckers. Real motherfuckers that's nice. You got to be nice to beat Gabe. You not nice, Edgar. Fuck out of here, bro.
No, he sure ain't, man.
Gabe is like fuck, what's his name? The UK dude. Fuck.
Derek Chisora. He's the Puerto Rican Derek Chisora, bro. And
Derek
you know that they
Chisora.
both Capricorn. You know they both Capricorns, right?
I knew it.
I'm just saying, bro. Like it's not a coincidence. Like, yeah, you got to kill them motherfuckers, bro, because they gonna fight. They're gonna fight. So you got to kill them motherfuckers. And that's the good thing of what Turkey's doing. People don't really understand it or don't see it that way. But okay, you want to make a bunch of money, got to be in a sink or swim fight. And if you sink, that's your ass. Devin, you put on a stinker in your last fight. I'm surprised Turkey even let you back. But look at who you have to fight.
Yep.
If Brian knocks your ass out, all that rah-rah, all that bullshit, all them podcasts, yeah, bye. If he Jin Sasaki you, and I hope he does, bye. Fuck out of here, yo. See what I mean? So it's virtues to the shit. But as far as, Americans just not being what they used to be, it's a defeatist mentality, to make a long story short. Look at Jared Anderson. He is the poster child for this generation. You are scared to try. Pretty much. You're scared to try. I'm only 23. Brody, you know that he didn't even fight Charles Martin yet when he said that shit?
That's wild.
It's crazy.
What the like what's wrong? Like, how you cracking already? You ain't even fight nobody. No, I think he did, but yo, dog, you shouldn't feel that way after fighting Charles Martin, bro. That's crazy. You feel like that already?
After I saw that clip, I'm like, yo, we're gonna have to wait another 25 years for another great American heavyweight.
I'm telling you, and that's really what the problem with the young American fighter is now. Is it possible that it could change? Yes, there is a shift in America. There is a shift moving back towards masculinity. Win the fight, get your ass kicked, but be a fucking man, bro. Win the fight, get your ass. Be a man, though. Just be a man. It's all right. Because the shit of the last 10 to 15 years, what they've been telling these, feel sorry for yourself. It's okay if you a fat fuck and you can't fucking see your dick when you pee. It's okay. These bitches don't want to give you no pussy. These bitches is wrong. No, it's not. It's not your fault. It's their fault. We moving away from that. Like, no, motherfucker. You want to get your dick sucked? Get your life together first, bro. Get your life together. All of that is gonna fall into place.
Yup.
But the way shit has been, if you really pay attention to the cultural significances, they've been telling these guys to feel sorry for themselves and fortifying all their idiosyncrasies and all their idiocies. Like, no, it's not okay for you to be like that. Brody, it's not okay for you to be in your 20s and be in your house like a fucking hermit just playing games all fucking day, bro.
Yeah.
Shit, I liked video games when I was young, but I didn't spend all fucking day doing that. That's crazy. Get your dick sucked, man. Bring back blowjobs. Make blowjobs great again, bro. The fuck, dog? Shit. And that's really what needs to change. The collective consciousness of young men in America more towards masculinity. Win the fight, lose the fight, but be a fucking man, bro. Be a man. Stop imitating. I was literally listening to the clip earlier today of the dude that I talked to in the Spaces a couple of months ago. That I turned it into a clip that he's like, I said what I said. And I told him, you know, that's some girl ass shit to say. Only women say shit like that. Man, let me. No, I can't play that shit because I got music in that shit. But I said, like, what you watch? Medea movies? Tyler Perry movies? I said what I said. What the fuck? You trying to sound like an old black grandmother or something, bro? You a man. Stop watching shit that women watch. Stop trying to tit for tat with women, because that's the other thing. The men in this generation, it's either they forgot or nobody told them. Stop listening to these bitches. These bitches say one thing and do another. These bitches say they want one thing and then want another. Stop listening to these bitches, dog. Stop trying to eye to eye with these bitches, man. Let them argue with each other, because that's what they want to argue. Let them argue, dog.
Walk away.
If y'all forgot about that shit, you know you ain't supposed to listen to shit these bitches say, man. Bitch talk shit about a motherfucker and suck his dick later on, man. Fuck. Shit is what I'm saying.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Well, if you're listening to women that want fucking men with dad bods, you're basically, letting them enable you to have an unhealthy lifestyle.
And you got guys that they sitting there like, look, this the shit. Your confidence is everything. Whether you got a dad bod, or you swole, you cack, or you skinny and you an ectomorph, right? It's not, it's how you feel, fam. Really, right. It is how you. If you feel, man, look, man, I don't give a fuck. I want a blowjob. One of these bitches gonna give you one, man. It can all be that simple. But you gotta know your lane, find your lane, and then stay in it. Because everything ain't for everybody either. But find your lane and then stay in it. You like fucking Pokemon cards? Awesome, bro. Go to the fucking Comic-Con, get your fucking dick sucked, bro. You like selling drugs? You like shooting at people? Awesome. Get your fucking dick sucked in the staircase, man. You know what I'm saying? You college, you studious, you know what I'm saying? You want to learn, you want to be a doctor, Ben Carson? Awesome, bro. Get some college pussy, bro. Find your lane.
I was going to say, in the case of the drug dealer, I have heard that crackheads do get the best head.
You know what I'm saying? Dude, you find your lane and you stay in that shit, bro. But yeah, man, like boxing is about to have a revival in America. I have a strong inkling that it's gonna be good now, because a lot of the shit that was holding it back before is dissipating. Don't you see that the politics of before, the whole PBC and Top Rank, that's not even a thing anymore, bro. It's not even a thing anymore. And a lot of the fights that we want to see, we are actually getting them. I wanted to see Puma fight fucking Bam. I'm about to see that in November. Yep. I wanted Junto to move up and fight Inoue. He about to do that. I wanted to see Inoue versus Mutajan. He about to do that.
Right.
Hey, question. In 10 years, where do you see the sanctioning bodies?
That may change. At some point, if they don't go away, the axis of power will shift, because eventually the promotional outfits and the people with the money, it's either they haven't realized it yet or they don't have the courage to do this, that we don't need you. You need us. We don't get money from you. You get money from us. Without us, you don't get money. So you're going to start accommodating what we want, or you could hit the fucking bricks.
Mauricio?
A British fighter, for example, doesn't necessarily need a WBC anything to sell some tickets. Johnny Fisher was fucking selling tickets, fighting bums. Just fighting some bums. Selling tickets. eventually I feel like the promoters are going to start demanding more from these sanctioning bodies. And the sanctioning bodies are going to have to comply because they are your source of revenue. You can't make money on your own. You rely on the money that they get from the broadcasters. Sooner or later, they're going to get tired of your bullshit and you're going to be forced to play ball. You've been allowed to do whatever the fuck you want for 10 years here in fucking America. But boxing is becoming more international and everybody's not going to play your game.
You're right. And where do they go from here, Jules, with the in-demand shutting off pay-per-view functionality, not really wanting to broadcast?
Drew, you smart. Pay-per-view is never really going to go away.
No.
It's never really going to go away. There's always going to be a guy that he's worth a lot. And there's always going to be a fight that's worth a lot. And these guys are going to be able to identify that, look, this fight is worth a lot of money. If we do slap an $80 price tag on it, we're still going to make a lot of money. The real thing is, while pay-per-view is never going to really go away, it was never about phasing it out completely.
No.
It was about getting y'all motherfuckers to calm the fuck down, dog. Y'all don't all belong on pay-per-view. That's what it's about. Yeah. But pay-per-view by itself is never going to...
No, I mean as far as like the distributors of like how they're changing the model, they're going to want more money of the pie then, right? Because they're the only game in town.
So think about it this way: if you've been a pay-per-view distributor, you're one of these cable and satellite companies. It's about to get very dry for you, and they may not survive. It's about to get really dry. Everybody's moving away from that. Or look, think about the zone where normally you had the conventional cable and satellite setup. The zone has their own thing. They don't have to go through none of that. So there's some people, they're gonna starve. The established
honestly, I don't think anyone outside of Canelo, Usyk, and maybe even AJ should be on pay-per-view.
If you think about it, realistically, outside of those guys, who really does real numbers? You can't say Tank. 200,000 is not. That's nothing. That is nothing. That was never anything. That's nothing, bro. The only guys with some certainty who can do 400, 500 or better are Canelo, AJ, Usyk's fights. I don't know why they talk about him the way they do, but bro, he goes from big fight after big fight after big fight after big fight. The Tony Bellew fight was a big fucking
that nigga stay in big fights, bro.
Like that wasn't even his biggest fight. The Tony Bellew fight was a big fucking fight. Man, people came out for that, man. People wanted. So
it went unreported that he broke an indoor record with Dubois.
Right, so
there was like some 90K in attendance, bro.
In Poland. So the axis of power is going to shift, Drew, because what we've been talking about going on, that they're changing the mediums and the way that people take in the content, that is still going on. So there are people that are going to starve. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Disney decided to kick out all that money, because you basically saved ESPN. Yeah, you bailed them out. The way shit was going, I thought, ESPN about to go the way Showtime went. Unless some miracle fucking happens. They delivered your ass to NFL and the WWE, sponsored by Disney, because that's the only way that shit could have happened.
Hell yeah.
It's the only way that shit could have happened. Now, for the MMA heads, because I know Drew is an MMA head, Real Talk is an MMA head, are you guys excited about the Paramount Plus deal? Is it good for y'all?
I mean, to me, it's another subscription, but I really don't subscribe to a lot of MMA. Like, I watch the big fights and I pay attention to the news, but I'm not into MMA the same way I'm into boxing. Like, I'm not gonna watch all the fight night cards and shit like that. So, I'm indifferent, to be honest.
Indifferent.
I'm gonna watch, because I won't watch all the fight night cards. I try to catch the main event of each card, just to see, okay, these are the top guys. But I already have a Paramount subscription. I watch all.
No, I have it too. Too. But I wanted to ask, because you guys have let me know basically that UFC is not in a great place. Their metrics on ESPN were not good. They were not great. I know for a fact ESPN wasn't happy with the numbers they were bringing in, and I wanted to get an MMA fan's perspective. Is this exciting for y'all?
It's exciting because we don't got to pay.
Yeah, and honestly, it's good because like there was a lot of like the same way that we were not sure about what was going on with ESPN. The MMA crowd wasn't really sure where they were going to end up either. So it's good to have an answer.
Mhm.
But like I said, I'm indifferent because I mean I don't take in as much MMA as most.
Mm, Okay. Shout out to Ray. Ray said Ryan Garcia sells as well. Not really.
Not pay per view. Well,
Not by himself, and not really, because the Devin Haney fight, you remember, it underperformed. They thought that was going to be big, and it wasn't. And he headlined the Times Square show, but I didn't hear nothing about no
oh
big Times
my
Square
God,
numbers.
bro! Look at Hurricane Hanks. Look at Hurricane Hanks coming.
Let me see. Hold up.
Ah,
MM mixed mission.
Yeah, that's what I've been calling it.
It's
Mixed
for
missionary arts, bro.
homosexuals.
So homosexuals, man. But do you think that could be a revival for MMA, that they're basically making it more accessible to more people?
No,
No?
no. See, the problem MMA is having right now is they don't have any stars, bro.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I was
and
gonna
all the
say.
stars they do have,
They don't have any
they're
stars.
getting butt fucked by Dagestani fighters. So it's
Mm.
like the last big fight that they had on the table was the John Jones and Tom Aspinall fight, and that just went up in flames. And it's like they don't have big fights right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. Then that's what they need from MMA, is that they need big fights. And fucking Dana White is more. He's more concerned with slap and TKO than actual UFC.
Everybody
That
keeps
shit's
saying that he
that
cares more
shit's
about
fucking
power slap.
Oh,
ridiculous,
bro,
dude.
he fucking
Yeah,
bro.
it,
I'm
it feels
telling you,
like
I'll
it.
send you a little clip. Okay, I'll send you a clip of the differences between the last fight announcement, the heavyweight undisputed fight announcement, and the fucking slap competition announcement, bro. It's like night and day. Like
Bro,
you
but
could
that
tell them a
slap
nigga does
shit is,
not like his
my dude.
job, bro.
That slap shit is lit, bro. Like you just get
Bro,
that
yes,
shit
bro.
is
that
Until
lit,
they
shit,
get
bro.
knocked the fuck
Joe,
no,
out in
that
a
it's
shit
cloud
is
of
fucking
smoke,
brutal.
that
bracket.
shit is
I
We're
fire.
saw
talking about a
I
fucking
saw a guy
bracket.
get
People
slapped
just want to
in
see.
Target.
They just want to see the ragdoll effect. They don't want to see.
No, bro, you know how good that shit is? My grandma watches that shit, bro. I
Bro,
swear to
I'm sure
God.
she
I
does.
come a little bit every time I see somebody get slapped. Like just a little bit of cum comes out. Like that shit is so satisfying, bro.
No, no, and what was more satisfying is in the beginning they were doing the like the whole Jersey Shore thing where they're all in a fucking house and they're just constantly butting heads and shit. So it's really satisfying to see some of the like shit talkers just get laid out.
Don, UFC's moved to Paramount. You're a mixed martial arts fan a bit, right?
A little bit. A
Is
little
that
bit.
exciting? Is that okay? This is good. I like this.
I mean, who's on Paramount? Like, what's popular on Paramount right now? I don't know.
I have Paramount, but I barely use it. I'll be.
Is
Isn't
Yellowstone?
Paramount
You
like
guys
the home
watched
of
Do they
South Park
show?
Landman,
now?
Do they show
Landman,
Yellowstone on Paramount?
Mobland, all the Taylor Sheridan stuff? Nobody's
They're
watched
like
the
the
Guy
home of
Ritchie
like
show?
South Park now.
El Cagón said it doesn't matter because UFC has no stars and their pay-per-view sales are worse than Tank. I think
Yeah,
their
you could.
logic I think their logic is though that if you make this more immediately accessible to the consumer, maybe they may begin to gravitate towards someone, because the other thing is, and we say it all the time, you can't build stars on pay-per-view. You can't, you literally cannot groom and develop a star behind a paywall. You can't.
Why?
Honestly, that's kind
I
of what
thought that
stunted
was an
Tank's growth, to be
ESPN
honest.
thing, like that you're on ESPN, like Top Rank, and you're supposed to have regular shows.
Say it again, Don.
I thought that UFC was going to do the model where they were on ESPN, like Top Rank, and just have a regular schedule without so many pay-per-views.
No,
But
that
all
is
their
what. No,
fights-
that is they're doing that, but on Paramount. But that is what they're doing. No pay-per-views. That's what they're saying.
and they can't build a star still.
No, I'm saying that the way things have been, they've been doing pay-per-views on ESPN, right? Nonstop.
But they've been doing a regular show, regular scheduled.
Okay, but you still, when you're focusing that much on shows that are behind a paywall, you're missing out on a lot of eyes.
Okay, I think we missed each other here. So what I'm saying is that I thought that UFC was going to be on ESPN and have regularly scheduled programs that are not behind a paywall. Just you can watch UFC fights like you would Top Rank fights.
Okay,
and then every now and then you'll have
that was while that was a passing thought, like the rumor that I've been hearing for months and months and months, right? The prevalent rumor, and what I was under the impression of was they were always going to leave ESPN, always, and only recently because of the WWE deal did you kind of feel like, oh, wait a minute, they might stay, because of the WWE thing, but that was only for a split second. That was really only last week. For the most part, I've been under the impression UFC is definitely leaving ESPN. Now, I thought they would go to Amazon or Netflix, right? I didn't know that they were going to go to fucking Paramount.
Why
That
would
I
they go to
didn't know.
Paramount? I mean, don't more people have ESPN subscriptions than they do Paramount?
I cannot put a number on where ESPN is at. Look, ESPN was the biggest sports network in the country, right? I don't
just
know.
canceled this shit.
I don't know that we can say that now. Like I
gonna
don't
look
know.
that up.
Nah, wait. Honestly,
Well, we
ESPN's
could
kinda
definitely say
dead.
that. Now that
Can-
they've integrated the NFL Network, it's possible.
No, Virtuoso. I mean, yeah, like now that because of the recent change, and if not yet, they will, bro. Between the NFL and the WWE, they're gonna be fine. But I'm saying the last 4 years, let's say, their numbers were going down.
No, they were looked at as they went woke. They went too into politics. Like people weren't watching no more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Drew. That the last 2-3 years, I don't know if they're had the same standing. I'm pretty sure they didn't.
On the cool, that shit kind of took a really, really big dip whenever Shannon left Undisputed, and he went and did his own shit on YouTube. That's whenever it really started going downhill for ESPN.
But also, there are contributing factors that, NBA is not what it used to be. NBA was huge when I was a fucking kid, man. It was fucking huge, bro. Arguments, debates.
Oh, it's because it's gay now.
It's gay now. It's literally
is what it is. Gay now, bro.
So I don't think that at least right now, I don't think the young men are as into sports as they were. I don't think they are.
Nah, they're into video games nowadays, way.
Yeah.
They're into streaming.
Whereas people, they would criticize Michael Jordan for playing against plumbers. LeBron James has played against Twitch streamers.
Yeah, because the other thing is there's only so many times you can bring up the Jordan versus Bron debate, right? I mean, there's only so many times you can do that. There's only so many times you can talk about Kobe Bryant. I think the material got stale, is what I'm getting at. I think you're running out of things to talk about. There's not a lot to mull over now. People are not as excited about the sport either, though. They're like, that really doesn't
But not only that, people really suspect that the NBA is actually corrupted. Because, like, how many
I've been hearing a lot of that, too.
How many times have we been hearing people complain about the officiating or the fact that the fucking draft system is fucking rigged, or and that the NBA is catering to like small markets?
I never before the last 4 years, I never heard someone say that the NBA was rigged. That it's rigged, like it's fixed. I never heard someone say that until the last 4 years.
Bro, perfect example.
I mean, you're gonna have to go way back to 2007 because that's where they got this guy, Tim Donahue, for basically betting on basketball.
Perfect example. Dallas, we gave up our 25-year-old star, and 3 months later, we get the number 1 draft pick. It's like, oh wow, what are the odds, bro? Like, what are the odds?
What are the fucking odds, bro? Soap opera. Mr. Calderon said, "What does that say? That Paramount spent $7 billion to get the UFC, but kicked PBC to the curb for?" And that's the other. I don't know if it was Drew or Cali X. One of y'all said that shit, but it's like, for a perspective, $7 billion, gentlemen, $7 billion. Do you know what it would take to get the PBC out of this hole? Not $7 billion. Much less, and nobody's kicking it out for them. No one.
Because who the fuck's on their roster, Jules? They don't have anybody.
All right. Did anybody look up the numbers for the average viewers for ESPN 2025 were 24.9 million US first quarter of 2025. Now the average viewer, this is surprising to me, for Paramount Plus is 79 million global subscribers.
Wow!
I had no idea, but they're global. So I think the incentive there. Hold on, the incentive there to go to the UFC to go to Paramount Plus was that it's global.
Well, that and the CBS thing, CBC, it's because it's not just Paramount Plus, CBS also. The terrestrial.
Right, and that's a lot of eyeballs on a sport. So if you take, even if you
go back,
3 million average viewers,
go back, Don.
Yeah.
ESPN has 24 million. That's what you said.
ESPN has 24.9 million in the U.S. as of the first quarter of 2025.
Holy crap!
Okay.
Bro,
Now,
that's
can I address Mr. Calderon's super chat? All right, Mr. Calderon, what I say about Paramount Plus is that basically the UFC is like a divorced, top tier, A1 woman, right? Whereas the PBC is just a cheap whore.
yeah. And she's got kids.
It got because remember you had that back and forth with Espinosa Jules, and like, shouldn't you be worried about your numbers and not pay-per-view gates that Showtime doesn't get a part of? Remember you got that back and
Exactly.
forth on Twitter.
I mean, Brody, the shit is. Well, I don't know if that was me. I know I've gone back and forth with Stefan a few times, but what did I say about that guy? He doesn't know his role. Your role was quality control officer at Showtime. If you're anything, that's what you were supposed to be. But you fell in good trying to hang out with the cool kids, the boxing guys, and that shit costed you your job. Basically, you're not supposed to worry about the gate. You're not supposed to worry about the pay-per-view sales. You're supposed to worry about how many viewers are you bringing my platform on a Saturday night. That's what you're supposed to worry about.
To work,
He was more worried
moderation.
You know what's crazy about 2 years ago was his last interview, and he was talking about the PBC fall rollout. Like, bro, it's 2 years. He was talking about the Charters coming back.
Bro, he's thinking them that they're the future of the sport, and they're in the mid-30s.
I think that was Brian Campbell. I don't know if it was Brian. I know whoever it was, they had a very sarcastic fucking tone, so they knew why they were asking him that. So what's new? What's whoever that was?
It was you talking about Custer?
Brian Custer.
It was Custer talking to Leonard Ellerby.
No, I remember that, but Stefan's interview, I can't remember who interviewed him, but I know they had a tone because I heard it. Like, so what's new? What can we expect from the PBC? And this
you did a relay, and because when he brought up the Charlos are coming back, you did a relay segment on it.
He's just talking about the fight. I'm like, the Charlos, bro. Them dudes is in their mid-30s, bro. That's what's new at the PBC? The Charlo, bro.
Stuck in the year 2017, bro.
Yo,
the return of the Charlos.
Return of the Mac, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, motherfucking Jermel's, he's been coming back for what, 2 years now?
Yeah. That's a long comeback.
Like, is he on the bus?
Hey, man, that Canelo check take a minute to spin.
True. You know what I'm saying? But damn, dog.
We still waiting on Billy Joe Saunders to come back.
Yeah, he ain't spent all that money yet because he ain't back yet.
Motherfucker buying sausages and beans.
But you know, they're just their predicament. I remember that interview, and I remember hearing the way the guy asked the question. It's like, I know why you doing that. You doing that knowing they don't got nothing. They signed up. He ain't even bring up Carmel in Motion is the crazy part.
Carmel in Motion?
Carmel in Motion?
What they're trying to show after the show.
Yo, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Yo, didn't this motherfucker start as a featherweight?
Yep.
Where is he at now?
Didn't his last fight end up at 135?
Yo.
Lightweight.
Fat ass.
Yeah. I think he's at 135 already.
Yo, dog, that shit, yo, they gonna fuck up that kid's career before it even fucking starts, bro. Like what
if
career,
they hadn't
bro?
already. Bro's fighting on fucking non-televised undercard.
I mean, Jules, when the janitor's already picking up the popcorn and you're still fighting, that's a bad fucking sign.
No, bro, I was gonna say that his next fight gonna be in a janitor's closet at McDonald's, bro. Like, where does he even fight, bro?
Fighting the janitor over the bucket of popcorn, you know?
Probably.
His next fight's gonna be on Tubi, Jules.
The credits are rolling. Like, I don't get it.
And let me say this: Floyd Mayweather is clearly out of the business of promoting fighters. Clearly, like TMT, there's nothing left of TMT. You saw Richard Schaefer, he's fucking with Canelo now, you know, because y'all remember like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, after Leonard stepped down as CEO, Floyd hired Schaefer. And I don't know, I guess he made coffee, right? Like, he changed the talk. I don't, because how you gonna be a CEO of a company that ain't doing nothing, right?
And nigga Hurricane Hank said they're disassembling the ring while he's still fighting.
God
They
damn.
taking down the banners and shit.
And it's only like the
Yo.
7th round.
Yo, he's fighting with the lights turned
Referee
down.
looking at them like this, be like,
Yo,
Yeah,
hurry up, bro.
Ándale, güey.
I don't know why they doing this to you, bro, but we gotta go.
no, but seriously, that Floyd Mayweather is clearly out of the business of promoting fighters. Like you can see that Kermel Moton doesn't have a home for his fights. I don't know what, if any, fighters are still with Floyd Mayweather. To me, it looks like TMT is basically dissolved at Mayweather Promotions. It doesn't look like they have any other fighters outside of Kermel. And it's like, Floyd, let that kid go, bro. Let him go. Like he like, this is crazy. Like, that kid is going nowhere fast, bro. Nowhere.
Jules, his next fight's gonna be on Tubi. Watch.
It's like a
When
golden boy fight and shit.
Yeah, like
when
Golden
Kermel
Boy.
start fighting with fighting for the PBC?
That's the
1 year.
no, but that's the thing. That's the thing, Leo. You can see that he's not a PBC fighter because of how they treat him. He's not a PBC fighter. If he were a PBC fighter, he wouldn't end up before the show starts or after the show ends. If he were a PBC fighter,
Hell yeah.
But he is a TMT.
They're kind of doing them like Boots.
nah, because
Even Boots didn't get treated that badly.
Well, yeah, Showtime was invested in, but the PBC wasn't necessarily invested in him. Well, kind of, but Showtime was.
But what
You
I
could
mean is
see
like
that.
they want him to be a part of the PBC by association, while they're not exactly doing anything for him.
No, I would say the opposite. That the PBC is kind of treating him like a stepchild, like they fucking his mom or
He literally
something.
just said the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a child born out of wedlock. They're trying to keep him a secret.
Bro, what's the you got to understand? So, like, if he's a hot prospect, right? Like he's the next hot Floyd guy, right?
A
He's
little
the
yellow bone stepchild.
right? He's the next fucking, he's Kermel in motion, right? He's the fucking best thing smoking. Why
The
is
new
he
tank.
Why is he fighting after the card is over? What type of shit is that? Like, yo, dog, like nobody
Like you
is
said,
here.
Like you said, hustling backwards.
But do y'all like, yo, he's supposed to be like
Bro,
the
them
next.
janitors talking to like, that kid's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that kid's pretty all right.
No, but
Fucking
it makes me
concession
wonder
stands
that
workers
a
out
guy
here just
like
like, damn, yo, that little kid got some heat.
got some heat, yo.
it makes me wonder that
Yo, Floyd is so fucking disrespectful to do that to him and then upstage him in his own conference. Talking
You know what I'm
about,
saying?
And that's the thing. He
What
doesn't
did
even
you say,
promote
Leo?
fighting. He promotes himself,
What'd
even
you
after he's
say, Leo?
retired.
Go ahead, Leo.
no, that makes me wonder what under what circumstances you are fighting under Floyd Mayweather's wing at this point of 2025. Are you endangered? Did you came to the country in a container or something like that? What is happening?
Fucking Leo, you're acting like Floyd's holding his passport hostage.
he's holding his asshole hostage.
Yo, they got his mother tied up in a hotel in Nicaragua, bro. You gotta sign. You gotta sign with Floyd, bro. There's no two ways about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like Leo. How does Don King still have fucking fighters, bro? What the fuck compelled Michael Hunter? Like, really, bro? Don King? You could have went to Pro Box, bro. You could have went to Pro.
Your Hurricane Hank said, blink twice if you're being held hostage.
You know what I'm saying?
He ain't even alive. He's undead at this point, man. He's been around so fucking long.
But you know what the sales like with Floyd, you know what the sales pitch is gonna be. He's gonna bring up Javante. You see what I did for Javante?
You know, I'm the
you see what I mean?
You know, anybody got the blueprint on me?
Blueprint, yo. Come on now, come on.
Hey, Jules, I know what Richard Schaefer is doing. He's managing his boxing gyms that he franchises and his fucking strip club in Vegas.
No, hey, that's something, bro. That is something. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
the shit
he's filing for Chapter 11 on those properties.
No, tú no viste que él está con Canelo ahora. He's
Oh,
with
yeah.
Canelo now, bro. They brought him for what I don't know, but they brought him in, bro. They brought back Schaefer. So I'm gonna assume, yo, when you fucking with Cash Money Canelo, you are okay, bro. You good.
I know
He's an
Oscar was
economy.
burning. I know Oscar was burning when he seen Schaefer and Canelo together.
Trying to tell you,
That nigga's knuckles were white.
that motherfucking dick was itching.
Yeah, he wasn't clapping back. He wasn't clapping back nobody.
Jules making him sound like he got crabs. What the fuck?
He probably do. Fucking with that bitch. He probably do. But Schaefer, Schaefer's straight. If Canelo brought you in, right? You got to imagine, Schaefer's straight, man. You part of one of the biggest events now of the year, if not the biggest event of the year. So Schaefer's straight. But just thinking about why would any fighter decide to go with Floyd in 2025? The sales pitch it's going to be about Gervonta. The same way that Heyman's sales pitch, you knew what it was. You see what I did for Floyd. You know what Floyd's sales pitch is. You see what I did for Gervonta.
Gervonta didn't do shit though. It's like, what did you do with Gervonta?
Bro, the shit is that there's people that want to believe that Gervonta is like. That there are people that want
to fuck him.
They want to fuck him, but they also want to believe that he's a major figure. Like, there's people that in their mind he's way bigger than what he actually is. Like, Brody,
he's the face of boxing, bro.
Brody, you really internet popping. That if I put Gervonta on a thumbnail, some people gonna watch it, but you ain't getting no money off of that. If motherfuckers on Twitter talking about your gay ass, it's gonna get a lot of hits. But you ain't getting no money off of that. You internet
Jules,
popping.
You remember this application called Dat Piff, where you had all these mixtapes? That's Gervonta. He had mixtape hype. Literally. You hear so much about the numbers or how many people fuck with him, but where's the profit?
He calling him. You trying to say that he the boxing papoose? Because that was his whole buzz. Damn. He the boxing pep.
He's more like the boxing Cannabis, Jules.
Nah, Cannabis did have one good album. Now he did have Gervonta did have one good fight, so that's actually not a bad parallel. But and I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do, honestly, because I have it on good authority that Thurman is about to fight Sebastian Fundora.
They're
late October pay-per-view. Nobody's gonna fucking buy that shit.
Wow.
Nobody,
I'm tired of the PBC, bro.
My dude, who the fuck gonna buy that shit?
Honestly, Jules, for that fight, they should make it. If Fundora loses, he gives up the belt to Thurman. If Fundora wins, they shave his fucking head in the ring.
Bro, if Fundora loses, he should just enroll to UCLA, bro. Just go to college, bro. Right?
Yep.
Enough.
Nah.
If Fundora,
you know what? Fuck that. He loses a Thurman. Fuck Harvard. You're going to City College.
Go to BMCC, bro.
Fucking community college.
Go to Borough Manhattan Community College, bro. Study nursing, bro.
That's like a second high school.
I said, y'all remember the movies and the end credits are done and there's a secret scene at the end? That's Criminal Motions fights.
Yeah, for real. He's basically the end credit scene of a movie. You're right.
Credit scene.
He said he fucking Robert Downey Jr. in Fantastic Four, bro. Like, that's what is.
Was he in that? Was Robert Downey Jr. in that?
Yeah, he was at the end. But let me say this. Well, they didn't show his face. No, they didn't show his face. Honestly, and what I saw when I went to see Fantastic Four, all you saw was the green cloak. You didn't see that it was Robert Downey Jr. You saw the kid.
But they made this big deal about him being in it.
I don't like that direction, to be honest, because I know the character and I know that Tony Stark is not Victor Von Doom, so I don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're doing some variant bullshit, whatever. But it's like, Floyd, this is not complicated. You don't want to do promotional work. You don't really want to promote this kid. Why don't you just co-promote him alongside Eddie Hearn? Let Eddie Hearn
a hard cut back to boxing.
Because I wanted to get that off. That it's fucked up for that kid, and I do feel bad for that kid. Honestly, I do.
No, because he has potential, but you're not gonna be growing.
You're not doing nothing with him. Like you're fucking up his career, bro. That kid should know when he's gonna fight next.
He's
He
better off
should
at
know
the
what
zone.
platform. He should know what platform it's going to be on. He should know what the trajectory of his career is.
We
And he's
should be
just
able to see them on a normal fucking fight card.
so Floyd. If you don't even want to promote motherfuckers anymore, like you don't got the stomach for that. Why don't you just give that motherfucker to fucking Eddie? Co-promote him. Let Eddie worry about what the fuck he gonna do. I don't like. Why would that be Why would that be a difficult decision to make? Like, you don't want to promote this motherfucker, bro. You don't got Leonard as your gopher anymore. You don't have that anymore. And you're not gonna micromanage all this bullshit. So let that kid go, bro. That's crazy.
I remember
Yeah.
Johan Ingram was on X constantly calling him out, like, let me go, and he finally did it. But it took him a
Yeah.
while.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Fucking
figured that if
Richardson
you
hit.
still fuck with him, like you might have at one point might have heard pay-per-view, and that's like tantamount to saying like, yo, you're gonna be selling a lot of CDs
Word,
in
right? You
2025.
gonna sell wild mixtapes in 2025, yo. You crazy? Cassettes and all that. You know what I'm saying?
You
Be
niggas
right
said
back.
cassettes.
Cassettes and all that. I'll be right back after these commercial messages.
I never saw. I never seen a Kerman in motion fight, but I imagine like
Nobody's
they're
seen a fight.
fighting.
That's
They're
the
fighting
funny
in the
part.
ring, and there's a bunch of OSHA violations and everywhere because they are disassembled the ring.
Bro,
You
exactly.
got-
Look, I
you
Bro,
only
see,
saw
fucking
one
Leo.
fight, and that was for USA Boxing.
He's
That
you
either
was an
see,
fighting
amateur fight.
before or after the camera's off
fucking
or on.
in the background, you see some workers with helmets, without helmets and shit.
I mean, for real.
Hell
You
yeah,
see
you
the
see a nigga, you
janitor
see a
just
nigga
picking
in
up
a
all the
fucking
popcorn and
firefighter
shit.
vest carrying a ladder.
Anytime he fights, the camera's not on. And Floyd doesn't seem to give a shit about the poor kid. He should be in the spotlight. He's an upcoming prospect. But
And
Are
nope.
you
instead, they're
telling me
gonna have
that
him
you can
fighting,
go?
with the lights off.
You can go on a Carmelo in motion fight, shoot a motherfucker in the head, and nobody's gonna know because nobody gives a fuck.
Yo, you're right.
Pretty much.
But he's also
There's not gonna
undisciplined.
be any evidence.
He fights at what,
Nobody's watching.
130?
Nah, bro, he's fighting at 35.
35? But
Yeah,
like
his last
two years.
fight that not his last fight, but maybe like one or two fights ago, he was scheduled to fight at 30, and they talked about that motherfucker weighed in like 12 pounds over.
Not for the he
He came in
was
like
in
a
the
welterweight.
he was on the Danny Garcia promotional card, and he
Right.
weighed in at 147. It's like,
That
did you
one,
Oh,
even
right.
try?
He weighed over
yeah.
like a fucking what?
Like,
He
what
was
the
pretty much a
fuck?
welterweight.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
You know who Carmel Motion is? He's fucking the Damon Wayans fighter from the Great White Hype. That fat motherfucker. He was like, I don't give a shit. I'll eat
But
donuts while I'm on the treadmill.
fellas, are you noticing a pattern here? Like, how long before we see Camille in motion in jail for hitting a woman?
Damn.
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Yeah, you never know.
What's up? What's next for Keyshawn? Because I mean, I think him and Jared are gonna be in the same story, bro. Jared, he just don't want to fight. He canceled the fucking fight with Big Baby. I think Keyshawn's gonna be next. He's just a
Yo,
fuck up.
bro, let me just say this because my battery's on my earpieces. I'm about to get out of here. I feel like Keyshawn Davis, the way he's talking, he's probably gonna go on another like ayahuasca retreat with Wilder.
God damn. Shit.
That's all I find con él. Like he feels kind of bad about it, but then on top of that, you're gonna be like, damn, I fucked up. Now I gotta take a year off. You don't have to, bro. Just get over it. You fucked up. Yeah, you admit to that you were wrong the way you acted, and you move on. But this shit really hurt him, because he
Yeah.
knows that, yo, I fucked up the bag, and now I'm like, I lost a fan. So, but you could always get back to it. You could get back in the swing of things, sooner rather than later. That's how people remember you. Like, if you trying to put yourself like away for a while, people are gonna forget about you. In a year's time, people are gonna be like, "Yo, what happened to Keyshawn?" I don't know. He's out there somewhere, but
Yeah, I'm telling you that the Kirsten situation has to do with his warranty, is deal with Top Rank, and he's not satisfied. because you can see the pattern every time one of these guys, one of these American boxers, starts doing well, sells a lot of tickets, sells out venues, start winning important fights. They start acting out because they think they deserve a new deal every time. And Kitchen was probably like that. Like when he was fighting this guy, the Argentinian guy, he sold out. He performed beautifully. And at that moment, he probably thought, he saw the numbers and thought, okay, I think I deserve more money. I'm not getting more money. Why I'm not getting more money? I think I deserve more. And that's what it starts fucking with their heads, because they start thinking about that another job, that's being a boxer. And it's the same with Ryan, with Devin, with all these guys. I think all these guys. I think all these guys should be free agents, all of them.
Yeah, but then they're gonna be asking for money, like money that they don't even deserve, bro.
Yo, but the thing is, these dudes who sign the Top Rank should know the history of Bob Arum. Bob Arum doesn't give a fuck about if guys think that, like, oh, well, if I just sit out and not fight, that all of a sudden I'll be able to become a free agent. You guys should always look at fucking Mikey Garcia as the example of what not to do when you're under contract with Top Rank. That motherfucker lost 3 years waiting to be freed before he finally had to pay Top Rank a certain amount of money to get out of his deal. Yeah. So Keyshawn and all these dudes should be paying attention to that shit, but unfortunately they don't, and that's the problem.
It's the same with Theo.
Yep.
When Theo was, after he beat Loma, what he was doing?
Fucking was talking about,
okay, well, him and his dad were stupid because they literally tried to play all the promoters against themselves, and then what ended up fucking helping their cause was that Triller was stupid enough to throw a crazy number out there that Top Rank was like, are you fucking serious? We're not paying that much to see you fight fucking Cambodia. Like, what the hell?
Man, that shit was so short-lived.
Yep.
I can't believe how quickly it came and it went, and how much money they spent on rappers, on people, on guest commentators. I mean, they threw so much money at that fucking thing. I thought it was gonna stick around, and we were gonna see a sort of the birth of a new era in boxing where people came in and they said fuck, and these guys are fucking around, and they just didn't give a shit. And remember when Cocaine Oscar was on there, he was high as fuck.
Yep.
That was probably the pinnacle of the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in boxing.
You mean when he was on Triller and he was drunk and high?
He was drunk and high, and he kept saying, "What did he keep saying?"
He kept saying USSR.
Yeah, you kept saying USSR and all this weird shit.
He was like, it's the Adonis, like, bro, like, you have no shame, like,
and you had Snoop was there. Snoop was
there, and they were talking about.
And Mario Lopez was taking tequila shots.
Yeah, it was. At first I was like, okay, they're going for it, cool. Like they're going after the modern viewer. I don't know who they're going for.
I saw something in that. I saw something in that could be marketable.
I did too.
Then I realized, okay, who this is going to be. And look, you could take this how you want it. I realized that the only people that would be into that kind of irreverence are people that don't pay for shit.
Probably because it was just debaucherous, and I didn't really, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was funny, but then I'm like, okay, guys, when are we going to get serious?
Yeah, like for in that moment when because Snoop actually wasn't bad calling the fight. So there was something there that I saw.
That was funny.
There was something there that I saw that wow, this could work.
But
then I fleshed it out, and I'm like, well, this is for who, the Love and Hip Hop crowd.
Yeah. So the problem with that whole thing was that they had no filter and they had no balance. They needed to balance it out. Like anytime you have something like that, you need a balancing act. So you have one debaucherous a co-host, and then you have the other one that balances out and more level-headed. But to have everyone just go out of control, it was just kind of like, what the fuck, man? What am I watching?
Because it was basically celebrating dysfunction. You know, that's
So
what it
who
was.
Who was behind
It was like the Source Awards.
What?
Who was
Yes,
behind it? There
was Triller, bro. That was Triller.
No,
that
but,
was
but
Triller.
who was like? There's got to be a guy, like a mind behind this.
Okay, that was God, I forgot the red-haired guy's name. Ryan Kavanaugh, I think was his name. Ryan Kavanaugh.
So you know the guy that usually does the announcing or the press conferences, the beginning of the press conferences for the PBC for Showtime.
Brian Campbell, Brian Custer.
No, it's a Mexican guy.
Okay, I know the guy.
Ray Flores.
Ray Flores.
So he was there, and then he said, "I just got called into the office, and I don't know if you remember this dialogue, but I just got called into the office, and I saw the boss, and he told me to." He said he looked at me and said, "Why are you wearing that fucking tie?" And he says, "Well, because I'm going to be on air." He's like, "Take that fucking thing off," and then he repeated everything he said, and he was saying for verbatim what I was just said.
Really?
They go, what's going on here? Is this a joke? Like, is this a fucking?
So here's the thing about
There was no
Triller.
balance.
Here's the thing about Triller that most people don't know. Triller tried to be competition for TikTok, right? They have an app
for TikTok.
Yes, it was trying to be a rival to TikTok. And you can go on that app if it still even exists, because I don't know if it does, but I checked, because I'm like, who the fuck uses Triller? I don't know anybody that uses Triller. Anyone that uses.
It's the first time I'm hearing that they had an app.
Yes, and it was supposed to be. The format is basically like TikTok. Stupid dances, stupid fucking kids, dumb arbitrary shit. And I looked at me being me. I looked at who the most popular Triller people were to compare the number of hits they get on this platform with what somebody who's popular on TikTok would get.
Right.
And it was so sad, bro. I mean, it was just the number. It was night and day. Like the most popular TikToker is the most popular Triller influencer is a mediocre TikToker. That's how the numbers were.
Right.
That enough people don't have this format platform app for you to even be popular. For you to even why would you even be on here? And that was the Triller app. Then the Triller platform for fights. It was just a disorganized shit show. They had guys fighting in a triangle. Did you see the Pulev versus Frank Mir fight? They were fighting like in a triangle with a trigon. Yeah. So it's like, bro, what the fuck are y'all doing over there, bro?
I mean, the one fight I did like was the Ivan Redcatch and
Progray?
And I heard, now that I think about it, I heard Triller fucked over Mike and Roy from that fight they had in 2020.
I heard they fucked him over. Yeah, Mike got his money, but it wasn't right away, is what I heard.
Oh shit.
He got his money, but it wasn't right away. But they did try to fuck him. They did though. They did. And what I read about Ryan Kavanaugh, this is when Triller is starting to pop off and start. Boxing fans are starting to talk about it. Is he's a high profile? He is a high profile Hollywood scam artist. He scammed a lot of people out of money, a lot of money. He has a reputation in Hollywood as a well-known scam artist. And this is when Triller's popping off. That's how I knew this shit with Teofimo. That's why I kept doing videos about it. I don't know about this shit with Teofimo, dog. Who puts up $6 million? Who in their right mind puts up $6 million for Lopez versus Kambosos? And we are fresh out of the shutdown. Audiences are just now being allowed to attend events, right? Social distancing, they're easing off of that. $6 million. And all these idiot content creators are celebrating that, he stuck at the Bob. He showed them. I'm like, idiots. If they put up $6 million, they want that money to come from me and you, bro. They're gonna build this as a pay-per-view.
I saw somebody interview Bob, and he was laughing at him. He was laughing at them because Triller they had to do like a down payment or something like that.
They have to make a deposit. They have to make a deposit to the IBF. I believe it's 10% I believe it's 10% of the overall bid. It's a percentage of the overall bid, whatever it is, and yada yada yada. And it's like Bob is laughing because Bob knows if this moron paid 6 million for this fight, we're gonna get our cut. We don't have to spend a fucking dime because Teofimo's still our fighter. You're gonna pay $6 million for Teo to go to your platform once, and then he comes right back to us. You just saved us a lot of money.
And he was laughing too, and there were the interview guy was like, "You knew this, right?" And he was just smirking, bro. Like, what a dumbass! Like,
Fucking idiot, bro. But that's the other thing about the guys in boxing. Everybody wants to believe the Cinderella story about how Mayweather took control of his career when I'm sorry to tell you that he was just another dumb boxer. All the brainstorming and all the business bullshit. Yeah, all of that is Heyman. You just let Heyman handle everything, right? And now you got a whole generation of boxers like Tio, right? Right, Devin, that they think they're oh, we gaming the system, we doing it. Like, nah, Devin, you got to promote his license for what? For what? So you can show it to bitches? Because you don't promote nothing. You don't broker broadcast deals with networks. You don't have a stable of fighters. The fuck is a DHP? What is that?
Jules, the thing is, all of these dummies that believe that Mayweather fairy tale about how he did that, they obviously never read about how Bob Arum was the one that had to save his ass when Jay Prince and his goons were about to beat the fuck out of him for the money he owed them.
Bro, listen, it's cognitive
Yeah,
dissonance.
$3
At
million.
this, it's cognitive dissonance at this point because everybody's heard that story. They just like to act like it didn't happen so they can keep up this narrative that Bob is this evil man. He's the mean old Yamaka guy. Because I'm not gonna say that shit and get flagged. But they to maintain that illusion, they act like Bob saved Floyd. If he don't cut that check, what was Jay Prince gonna do to that man?
Break his fucking legs.
Break his fucking hands. Shout out to El Cagon. Golden Boy Promotions dodged the bullet. Oscar wanted to bring his stable, yes, I remember that, to Triller. It would have destroyed the company. Yeah, because that was the other talking point at that time. That's why Oscar was at that event. Because he was flirting with the idea of migrating off of the zone and moving over to Triller. But you see that it didn't take long for people to realize that Triller is a shit show, bro. That shit is, and where are they now, right? In 1 year that they gained some traction in the sport of boxing in 1 year, that's about how long it took for them to fizzle out. They're not even a thing anymore. And this is who was going to put up $6 million for fucking Teofimo.
hey, so what's up with Top Rank? Like now that UFC is going to Paramount, because if you think about it, 7 years, 7 billion for UFC. ESPN gave Top Rank what for 7 years?
They gave them 90 million a year.
La verga.
Yeah, 90 million a year. The thing is that, look, they don't have to stay in combat sports at this stage. When you have two things like the NFL and the WWE, you don't actually need Top Rank to be part of your portfolio. But based on where you are, like, nah, you got WWE and you gonna get all the views you need, bro.
They can print money with the NFL being on their fucking channel.
Pretty much. So while a part of me thinks somebody who's over there, they told me they on a pause. On a pause, meaning that it don't have to be over, but it's not going to be the way that it was, where we giving you 90 mil. It's not going to be like that. We're not going to give you that. We give you something, but we're not going to give you that. You know what I mean? Is it possible that Top Rank stays over there? It's possible, but I just don't know how likely it is because at this point, ESPN doesn't need them. Bro, you got the NFL and WWE. Yeah, you straight. You good. You don't need a lot after that. You good. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would like for them to stay over there and continue on what they built because I like Christina Pancha. I like Tim Bradley. I like Mark Kriegel. I like Joe Tessitore. I like that whole thing. But it's like, does ESPN need them? Not really. Not with what they got.
So you think TKO will replace him at ESPN?
Posiblemente.
Get ready for a whole lot of Callum Walsh fights then.
You know what I'm saying? I would really love for them to come back to the table and work something out. Work something out because 7 years ESPN, don't throw it away. And the other thing is, look, you can't replace Top Rank with TKO. Understand that. You cannot replace Top Rank with TKO. It's something completely new. The people that watch Top Rank may not watch TKO. They might not. They don't know them guys. They don't know that shit. But your Top Rank, you got a yardstick. You know what they're good for. You know, I want them to re-up, but I just don't know, dog. Like, they don't need them. Bro, you got the NFL. You don't need a whole lot. Add the WWE, you straight. You good. Don't need a whole lot after that. So, I don't know, man.
So
And
they're gonna be lending their fighters out. You know, like, hey, if there's a fight, just let us know. We'll let y'all go. It reminds me of Shakur. He's fighting. His last fight was with Turkey Zepeda, right?
Yep.
So I'm trying to see. So Shakur is fine fighting for Turkey because it's the biggest bag.
Mm-hmm.
So Who's his next fight with? I mean,
Teofimo,
against.
eso es lo que ellos están diciendo, de que Teofimo. Eso es lo que
But
están diciendo.
but it's not gonna be with Turkey, is it?
I don't know. Look, Tio said January. That's what he said. January. And it looked like I got the vibe that yes, something going on. They talking about something going on. Shakur wasn't gonna fight again this year anyway, because once again he busted his hand. So he wasn't gonna fight again. He wasn't gonna fight again this year anyway. I knew Tio dumbass wasn't gonna fight again this year. Like, you could tell you trying to be a once a year fighter now, basically. That's what Tio trying to be. So I get, because you Shakur. What's the big fight for Shakur at 135? And don't that's not gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna happen. So what? Abdullah Mason, Sam Noakes, fucking Raymond Muratalla?
Nope.
Not a big fight.
Yeah, but I'm like that. Tell because of his smart ass mouth, Turkey doesn't want to fuck with him. So who would put that fight?
Maybe Turkey would fuck with him to the. I don't know that Turkey would fuck with him. I really don't. You know, because he seemed pretty angry when he said that on the Boxing Voice. So I don't know. I don't know who would pay for. I don't think it's Matchroom, because he's not with Matchroom anymore. Shakur is not with Matchroom. He's a free agent. So I don't think it's Matchroom. It's definitely not Top Rank. Shakur not going back there. So those two dudes is in the air. Tio is worse off than Shakur, but them two dudes is in the air because Shakur want to be a free agent. It's like, what do you want to be a free agent for, bro? Do you understand that now you don't got somebody to make you that tune-up fight in between? You understand that, right? You don't got that. You don't got somebody to get you that keep busy that you might need, so that you don't got to go from hard fight to hard fight. You don't have that.
I think he's so cocky that he believes he doesn't need it. He's like, hey, yeah, like I'll just fight the next guy without. He might be a 1 year fighter too. Does it come to a point where these free agents don't get picked up, bro?
Possibly.
I hope so, man.
Matchroom, they're smart over there. You know, yeah, they would have signed Shakur if they would have re-signed Shakur if he wanted to be with them, you know? But they're not going to lose any sleep that he's not. They're going to move on. The fighters keep trying to convince themselves or find ways around the fact that you need a promoter. You are not a promoter. You're not. You need someone who knows how to broker a broadcast deal to give you a platform to fight on. And now you're telling yourself that you're a free agent and you're in control. No, you're not. Turkey's in control. You don't decide anything. All you can do is say yes or no. That is the extent of power that you have, but that's really it. And that's not power. You don't decide much. You can fight or you cannot fight, but that's about it.
Speaking of free agents, did you see Don King? He sent a cease. So
that's why I asked, why the fuck did Michael Hunter sign to this guy? Like, what the fuck is wrong with him?
What's wrong with this guy?
He must have given him a big fucking briefcase full of money.
Virtuoso said Triller is the Fire Festival of entertainment brands. I'm surprised they didn't invite Ja Rule to one of them Versus shows. Yeah, because that was one thing that they were living off of. That fizzled out fast too. The Versus shows, because they were the ones doing that. Versus, where the rap groups would get together and
Yeah.
they'll battle. And I think the biggest one was the Locks and Dipset. That was the biggest one. Like I remember that did some numbers.
It was probably Gucci versus Jeezy.
I don't think they did that.
Oh, that
No,
was
they
I
did
think
do that.
Apple.
They did that?
Apple picked it up. I think after that.
Is Versus still a thing? Like, do they still do that?
Nah, there's guys talking in the hip hop realm that like, oh, we should do this and we should do that, but nobody's done a versus in a few years already.
And I'll say that that was post-pandemic culture, I want to call it. Remember during the pandemic, there were things that people were doing to pass the time. There were things that people were doing. And that felt like an extension of that, because I think where did it start, Ignacio? Didn't it start on Instagram or something like that?
Yeah, so what happened was the idea came from there's a DJ from your neck of the woods, Jules, named D Nice, who's been around since the 80s. And so what he started doing was he was going on Instagram Live, and he was doing like these live mixes during COVID. And because, people didn't have shit to do and couldn't go nowhere, he was just fucking getting crazy numbers on Instagram Live because people were tuning in because they were bored. There wasn't shit on TV. And then what ended up happening was Swiss Beats and Timberland fucking went to Triller and was like, yo, like, we should turn this into a thing.
Recuerda, there was a battle. I think it was Teddy Riley. I forgot. They did one on Instagram before they turned it into a thing, a whole production. They did one on Instagram, and I think it was Teddy Riley. I'm trying to remember who it was. And it was lit. But it was because of what you said. Nobody has anywhere to go. They can't go anywhere. People are bored, and they're just on their phones trying to pass the time. And that whole setup was post-pandemic culture. That like, this is a byproduct of us being stuck in our houses.
Yeah.
I still had to work. But that this is a byproduct of so many people being stuck on their houses and just communicating via social media, that once we were able to go outside and, this stopped being a thing. Like, people stopped giving a fuck about this shit. They stopped giving a fuck. They thought they found a gold mine, but nah, people stopped giving a fuck about that shit. And I think it peaked with, because I remember they did good numbers with Dipset versus the Locks. They did that. They did.
But they actually sold tickets to that shit, and a lot of people went to go see it in person.
Yeah, no, they did. Yeah, they did good. But by then, that's what I'm saying. That at that point they peaked, because after that, nothing really. You didn't hear much after that. They peaked with that. So yeah, man. Right, fucking unbiased. It was Teddy Riley and Babyface. Right, they was going song for song. Yeah. And that was on Instagram, and that was before they actually did the setup for it. Shout out to Virtuoso. The first verses was RZA versus DJ Premier, then DMX versus Snoop Dogg. Both streams were on the gram. That's what I remember, that it started on social media. It just, it didn't hold an audience. On that fucking note, kids are starting school tomorrow. I'm going to sleep. See y'all motherfuckers on the next one.
You're going to get up to make steak and eggs, Jules?
Motherfucking yeah.
Have a good night, fellas.
Peace.